Hi there, this is David, and welcome to New RPG News. We have a lot of stuff to talk about this week. From Crisis Core Final Fantasy, to some Diofield Chronicle and Soul Hackers upgrades, to a new Game Boy Color RPG, and more. But we're going to start with Fire Emblem Colgate, or Engage. Yeah, I know, his hair and his eyeballs. But anyway, this is the newest entry in the Fire Emblem franchise, which I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with over the years, but I've fallen back in love with since Three Houses, and this one's pretty cool. Originally kind of developed for the Wii, but only now coming out. This game is one where we're going to see past heroes. It's like an homage to all the games in the series from the past. It says, in a war against the Fell Dragon, 4 kingdoms work together with heroes from other worlds to seal away this great evil. 1,000 years later, the seal has weakened and the Fell Dragon is about to reawaken. As a divine dragon, use rich strategies and robust customization to meet your destiny, to collect emblem rings and bring peace back to the continent of Elyos. You team up with iconic heroes from past Fire Emblem games, summon valiant heroes like Marth and Cecilia with the power of emblem rings, and add their power to yours in this brand new Fire Emblem story. Aside from merging appearances, engaging lets you inherit weapons, skills, and more from these battle-tested legends. The turn-based tactical system returns with a fresh cast of characters you can customize and engage to fully craft your strategy, and is releasing for Switch on January 20th worldwide. And this is actually one of my most wanted games of next year. It's coming out early, and you can never have too much strategy goodness as far as I am concerned. Now we have a new trailer for Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and the trailer is called More Than a Remaster, even though it's really just a remaster, so I don't know. It looks like they just took everything that the PSP version was, and they made it a little prettier, and they gave some little quality of life features. Honestly, to me, I think it looked fine on the PSP. That's just me. Graphics don't really matter all that much to me. This trailer just makes everything look really crisp and pretty, but it doesn't really go into more changes that I think are necessary, such as the DMW, or the mission system, or things like that that I would like to know about. There is a huge interview in this article, and it also talks about the differences between what you're going to find in the PS5 version versus the PS4, the PS4 Pro, or the Xbox, or the PC, or the Switch, or which version you get. So there's a lot to look at here and figure out which version you want. Personally, I'll probably just grab the PS4 version because that's what I have, and it is what it is. Then this frequently asked question thing, which I don't think anybody's asking these questions, but okay. It talks about differences between the PC and the console versions, challenges regarding the PC port. It just seems like this is their way to advertise this game, I suppose, because honestly, I don't think, again, anybody's asking, like, the PC version supports 120 frames per second. How much is this changing the feeling and quality of the gameplay? No one's asking these questions, so I don't know. I just think that this article is kind of ridiculous. It is long and involved. If you want to read this and you want to know more about this game, hey, have at it. If you weren't around during the PSP time and you missed out on this game, I would definitely recommend picking it up. If you've already played it, more than likely it's more of the same, just with a shinier coat of paint. Now the Diofield Chronicle. We have a free update that's launching in March of 2023, adding a new scenario, weapon, skills, mode, and difficulty. This is the untold story of Waltequin. And if you've played the game, you know why something like this is necessary. I'm not going to spoil anything here, but this is kind of neat, adding some new life into Diofield Chronicle, hopefully a harder difficulty level. Yeah, it says high difficulty extra mode down here. So you have a new scenario. It says not told in the main story starring Waltequin. In this scenario, playable after clearing Chapter 5, you'll make your way through missions while controlling Waltequin, and the Behemoth will appear as the final boss. There's a new weapon, the Grimoire, new skills. The new skill, Necromancy, can be used to summon Skull Knights. That's kind of neat. The extra mode, which is extra difficulty level, which says that high-level enemies will appear all the way from Chapter 1, and this will be added as a function of the New Game Plus, so you can carry over all of your, weapons and levels and abilities and all that kind of stuff. And then there's another difficulty level, Very Hard, which offers more challenging battles with less frequent drops, reduced enemy skill use frequency and cooldowns, limited revival time, HP recovery, and so on. So yeah, for those of you who were saying that this game was far too easy, then now this is going to breathe some new life into that one. Speaking of breathing new life into games, we have a new Soul Hackers update, which adds a dash function, a speed-up battle mode, and 4 new demons. Here's my thing with these new updates and stuff. Might sound like an old fogey, but I don't care. Back in the day, when you released a game, you made sure it was high quality on day 1. This game was low quality on day 1, and am I gonna go back and play it again with these new quality of life upgrades? No, I'm not. They had one time to make their first impression on me. Did they do a good job making their first impression? No. So should I go back? No. Make your game right the first time. Make sure that your game is good to go right out the door. I am sick and tired of this lazy cash grab stuff where they throw some unfinished game out the door and then they say, oh, look, it wasn't received all that hot. 6 months later, let's add in some stuff that should have been there in the first place. It really bothers me. Anyway, it is a free upgrade, to their credit, adding a dash function, a speed-up mode for battles, various adjustments, and 4 new demons. So that's kind of nice. Again, quality of life improvements, better fast travel options, adjusted enemy spawn rates in dungeon. It just seems some quality of life improvements to make this a better game, but honestly, I really wish that they had better playtesters or focus groups or something, because this game should have been, having all this stuff from day 1. Like they say, first impressions last, and the first impression of this game, not so good. So, yeah. Now in some news of the weird, Crunchyroll, which is some anime website, announces an 8-bit action-adventure game, Heim's Quest, for the Game Boy Color, PC, and browser. Yeah, the Game Boy Color. So, kind of interesting. So it's going to be an 8-bit action-adventure game featuring its mascot character, and the Game Boy Color version is going to be available for a limited time only via a pre-order, which will only be running from November 18th to December 23rd. So if you want to get your hands on this, do so. It looks like it's going to be $45. You can get it in Crunchyroll Orange at the Crunchyroll store, or Limited Run Blue over at Limited Run Games. I, for one, will probably be picking this up because this just seems interesting to me, and I like the Game Boy Color. What can I say? The other version, the PC version and the browser-supported version, will be free to play, so if you just want to play it just to see what it's all about, you can also get it for free. Looks pretty neat. Reminds me of, like, Zelda or something like that. Kind of cool. I like it. Kind of sweet. It says, take control of Crunchyroll Heim to save the anime club from Y2K in her first ever video game, Heim's Quest. Set in 1999, something electric is in the air. A malevolent force has crept into New Crunchy City, wreaking havoc on its technology and tragically destroying the anime club's precious DVD and VCR combo player. Can you rid of the dastardly cretin brazen enough to ruin their meeting? It does seem to be a Zelda-type game rather than an RPG, because it says hack and slash your way through dungeons. But yeah, just interesting. I just thought that I'd bring this up just because it's just so weird. And I like the Game Boy Color. Speaking of Crunchyroll, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel Northern War has a new trailer, key visual, and main cast announced. This is not a game, but an anime series based upon Trails of Cold Steel, of course, scheduled to air in 2023. The trailer is playing right above me, and it says that this is their very first trailer and that they've revealed some key visuals, which we're just going to scroll through right here. So this looks to be taking place over in Northumbria, where Sarah is from, if you recall, although I don't see Sarah in here. There is this Sarah, but she's not the teacher, Sarah. I don't guess, at least. But yeah, this was originally announced back in 2021, so this has been in development for quite some time. And don't really watch a whole lot of anime, but I might make an exception for this one since it is based upon a video game series that I do quite enjoy. Now some news about Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, something that I think many people thought was probably vaporware. We have some information. A public demo is going to be released in January over in Japan ahead of its 2023 release, and we're going to be getting some more information as well. This was first announced back in 2016, and it says, we've been waiting on Grand Blue Fantasy Relink for years, but it's finally supposed to be releasing in 2023. And the good news is that it seems to be moving towards a confirmed launch date. The PS5 and PS4 action RPG will actually be playable for the first time ever at Grand Blue Fantasy FES 2022 to 2023. The event's happening in Japan over the weekend beginning the 20th of January of next year. Then it says, what's more, developer Cygames is promising new information on the title during an hour-long live stream. So everything that I've seen of this game looks to be pretty fantastic, and I am personally looking forward to it, and I don't know anything about the Grand Blue Fantasy world, so hopefully somebody like me can totally get into this game. It looks absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to play it. Now for our last bit of news, Nintendo is heading to malls to help people write their Switch wish list this Christmas. This is kind of cool. Too bad they're not coming to Las Vegas, but it looks like Nintendo is going to be coming to a bunch of malls. It says 15 malls across the United States to bring Nintendo flavor holiday tidings to everyone and ensuring that the House of Mario makes it under your tree this year or else. So if you live in these cities, be lucky because, yeah, they're not coming to Vegas. So they're going to be hosting the events from November 18th till December 27th at Perimeter Mall in Atlanta, Georgia, which is near where I used to live, but I don't any longer, so yeah. Boston, Massachusetts, Chicago, Cincinnati, Dallas, and Houston over in Texas. Los Angeles, which is probably the closest location to me. I don't know if I want to drive like 5 hours to get there, though. Minneapolis, New York, Orlando, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Jose, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. It says that visitors to the Wishlist Wonderland will have the opportunity to play demos of select Nintendo Switch games, which include Splatoon 3, Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Minecraft, Shredder's Revenge, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Alongside demos, there will also be an interactive display that lets people learn about games, offers, and giveaways, plus the chance to earn My Nintendo points if you do check in. The aim of these events is to introduce a little more Nintendo into the wish list of shoppers, presumably instead of all the boring things that they thought they wanted. I wish that I still lived in Atlanta, but I don't, and I'm stuck in the desert where Nintendo does not want to visit, unfortunately. So that's it for this week's news. Let me know what you are most excited about. Let me know what news you think is new and interesting. Let me also know if there's anything that you want me to cover in the comments, and I'll be sure to look at it next week. And as always, have a good day.